Greetings everyone, Tim Anderson here, aka Renfell, and welcome to the latest video in my ongoing series on Solasta, Crown of the Magister. So previously I did a very quick overview video and I said I was going to be jumping in and showing everybody the character creation at some point, as well as gameplay videos and so on and so forth throughout the month of April. I've got some time today. It's late afternoon on March 31st, so I figured I would jump in and show everybody what the character creation process looks like, because honestly, I feel like this is one of the most in-depth character creations I've seen in an RPG in a very long time. It's really cool, and I just kind of wanted to walk everybody through it. Now, you can just kind of jump in here. If you've ever played like the old Icewind Dale games back in the day from Black Isle, you had the option to choose a group of pre-generated characters, or you could create your own. And the funny thing about this was when I was running through the tutorial the other day, it tells you, like, yeah, we've got pre-generated characters, but we highly suggest that you create your own. So I like the fact that the game tutorial actually prompts you to spend the time to create your own character, because I spent an hour and a half, which is probably more than I needed to, but I was really into it. I spent about an hour and a half creating my characters and going through the tutorial on the first one, and I wanted to walk you through that process now. So you could just come into to the character screen, click new character, and you're going to jump in. So the first thing you're going to see is that you've got a selection of races, and similar to many other RPGs, you're going to notice that as an example, if you choose between Hill Dwarf and Snow Dwarf, there are some differences between the two in terms of their stats. So Hill Dwarves get +1 to Wisdom, Snow Dwarves are +1 Dex. Hill Dwarves get +1 hit point per level, and Snow Dwarves are proficient with heavy crossbows. They both have dark vision and languages, common and dwarfish, but then the Snow Dwarves also have a +2 to Constitution saving throws, which is really interesting. So let's say that we just, you want to pick one of those based on the type of character you're wanting to play, based upon the class selection, so on and so forth. They also see that the difference between the High Elves is that High Elves are more built for spellcasters as opposed to Sylvan Elves, who are definitely more Ranger Druid types. And then you've got Halflings, you got Marsh Halflings, and then you've got Island Halflings. So I'm going to pick a Sylvan Elf for the moment because there's something I wanted to show you for the Rangers. And of course you can choose male or female for your avatar. And we're going to click Next. Of course, you've got your basic selection of classes here, along with brief descriptions of each of them with the tooltips. But let's pick the Ranger for the moment. Now, this is one of the fun things about this character creation process, because not only does it show you everything you start with, and we're going to get into that here in a minute, but there's this button here for high levels. It says show the features granted at higher levels. So if you click this, it actually goes in and shows you how your character is going to progress. So you don't actually have to stress too much about, am I going to really like this class or not as it develops, because you're going to get a chance to see how this class fleshes out over time. So like at level 2, you get to choose a fighting style as a specialty, and you'll choose some ranger spells. Then at 3, you get primeval awareness, and you get to choose an archetype, a type of ranger that you're going to be. Then level 4, you get to adjust your abilities, and then at 5 you get an extra attack, 6 you get a favorite enemy, natural explorer. This comes in really handy later, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. Ability score choice, so on and so forth. So you get a chance to see how this class is going to play out. Now it also shows you, the basic crafting proficiencies you have, as well as armor proficiencies, your saving throws, your ranger skills, favorite enemy. Of course, this is a familiar one to most people who've ever played against, but this is the one I love, and I'm hoping that they give you a little bit more information about this during the character creation process, because I didn't find out what this meant until I was actually playing the game, and you get through the first hour or so of gameplay and you hit the world map. Because once you hit the world map, this natural explorer thing comes in handy, because there's actually a tutorial that pops up the first time you go into the world map. And when you're traveling between point A and point B, you have an option to choose from the pace that your party operates at. So you're going to go slow, you're going to go normal, you're going to go fast. Depending on how quickly you go from point A to point B, it adjusts the risk level of getting caught unawares by monsters, as well as how many resources and things you're going to find along the way. And a ranger is adept at a certain type of terrain. And the tutorial told me that based on the type of terrain, if you have a ranger in your group and you're traveling through that type of terrain, you get bonuses when you're traveling through those types of terrain based on the bonus that the ranger has. And it doesn't explain that in this character creation process, but that's what this is all about, which I thought was incredibly cool, which is why I wanted to actually choose the ranger for this character creation overview, because of that right there. Now, the other thing that's really cool is you get to choose. It gives you some options of what it already defaults you to for starter gear, but you can come in here and actually choose other options if you would like to. And then we can go to the next screen. And this is where this is another really unique aspect of the game. Let's pick one. I don't know what I would pick for a ranger. Let's say he's a spy. Maybe. I don't know. I like academic maybe. So you'll notice when I'm picking these, on the bottom left here, you're going to see these options pop up, and it's going to change slightly depending on what I choose, right? So let's go with academic for now. Now here's where there's a bunch of more options to choose from, and this is where things get confusing but also really cool. So first off, you have this alignment chart. Now as you choose this, you're going to notice that here my personality flags start to change based on my alignment. Now the personality flags for your background don't change. Now down here the tags are going to show up. So let's just say out of the academic I'm going to choose pragmatic and lawfulness, and you're going to notice that it added those two things here. Now as I understand things from the tutorial, these personality traits dictate how your character talks and interacts with NPCs in the game, and the options that you get to choose from when you're doing these NPC cutscenes for dialogue and stuff. As I understand things. Again, I'm still somewhat new to the game, so this is me giving you my take on things as I understand them. Now, what's interesting is you'll notice that the color coding is slightly different, and basically the deeper the color, the more influence you have with that particular type of personality. So I can go over here and I could pick a couple from here as well, and I'm going to choose perhaps kindness and altruism, and that's going to kind of slightly change those. I'm going to go to next. Now this is, again, lots of options here. You can choose to use dice rolls and just re-roll the dice, use a standard array, and then you can drag these where you want them, right? And then you're going to get a bonus based on what you have, so you can kind of put these in here. Something like this. Now, I personally prefer to go the point buy option because I don't like to have any penalties on my characters. I'm a bit of a min-maxer in that regards. So I like to put everything at 10. That way I don't have any penalties. And then I come in here and go, okay, let's put, 16 or so in my primaries. Something like this. Maybe put another point in dex. Something like this, right? And then I would go to next. Again, really cool panel where based on my race and class selection, we've got these proficiencies, and they've kind of already chosen some for me, and they kind of give you these prompts, of where you're going to put your points. So let's just follow their prompts, and we're going to say, okay, I could choose 3, so I'm going to put 1 here, 1 here, and 1 there. Then I could choose a couple of background languages. Let's just pick Goblin and Orcish, right? And then go to the next screen. Now, this is the one area, the only area of the character creation process that I feel that this shows itself as an indie game. Now, I'm not criticizing. This is just a comment. I understand the difficulty in creating cosmetics. It's a huge burden on your art team, and this is the one area of this character creation process where I think that it's a little lacking, and I'm hoping that they add more to this over time. But it is a robust enough system. You get a few options to choose from for your face, your skin tones. You have a few different options of hair to choose from, so you can go through here. Hair color, of course, that you can choose from. Pick something like that. Eye color, whatever you want to have here. That's a little too bright. And then, of course, you can kind of adjust your physique, depending on how strong you are. And you can adjust the age, which is kind of groovy. You have a few voice options.
I am in your debt, my
That was a
friend.
lucky hit.
Interesting.
But this is another
Secret
area
door.
where it's kind of limited. So I chose, yeah, 4 characters, and they're 4 male characters, and you only have 3 voices to choose from, and a couple of them are the same, so it's kind of hard to differentiate between who's talking based on the voices alone. So again, this is the one area of character creation where I think that there could be some more work done. I don't know if they'll add to this over time, but it's robust enough. I'm just saying, compared to, say, a AAA game, obviously you're going to notice some differences here, but that's to be expected given the difference between an indie and a AAA game. Also, you can input your own kind of additional backstory lore here, and then you can also come in here and do Elfie, make elf face, as the name of our character. And then we're done. And he's been added to our list of characters that we can choose from. Where did he go? Elf, make elf face. I should have done Elfie, not elf. I also did Hobbity Hobbit because I did another video that I didn't like, so I redid this one. So anyway, that is a basic overview of the character creation process for Solasta, Crown of the Magister. This is a really cool RPG. I'm really enjoying my time in it so far. It's the most fun I've had in an RPG for a long time. It's weird because I'm also playing Baldur's Gate 3 early access right now, so I'm able to note some similarities, but also noting the differences. And I have to say, I'm having just as much fun in this game as I am in Baldur's Gate 3. And between those two, I mean, it's pretty amazing. I haven't had this much fun in RPGs since probably when Dragon Age Origins released. So this is a breath of fresh air to see another really cool RPG coming on the scene. I would highly recommend that you check them out. I think the early access is coming to an end. I think version 1.0 is right around the corner. I saw a tweet on their Twitter account today that said something about release 1.0 being released soon. I don't know when that is, so I would say make sure to check that out. Definitely check out the links below. I've got a link to their website so you can go check out the game. I would recommend picking it up if you like RPGs. It's a really cool kind of indie project. The combat is really amazing. I love the character creation. I'm really loving a lot of things about this game so far. So if you haven't already done so, make sure to also check out the previous video I did, which is a very quick overview, and stick around in the month of April because I'm going to be doing more videos on this game as we get deeper into April. Probably a couple a week, we'll see as I have spare time. If you haven't already done so, also make sure to hit the bell icon, subscribe to the channel, do all the things that you're supposed to do if you're interested in this type of content, and check out the links below to my Discord, the Patreon page, all the social media links, and beyond. And we will see everybody in the next episode.